Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of the HubFit platform. First thing we have is the main section. Here you'll see your clients. You have a list of your clients here. You can add multiple tags for the client, which makes it easier to filter. You can see when they last checked in and when they were last active. We'll jump into what a client's profile looks like, but for now, let's continue going through these. Over here, you'll see a list of all your check-ins. You'll see the check-ins that are pending review, and then you'll also see the check-ins that you have reviewed. Let's go ahead and click on a check-in to see what it would look like. You'll see here the check-in from the client. I'll go ahead and do review check-in. I can leave a comment. So for example, you might attach a Loom link. The client will get a notification and they'll be able to view this comment. So let's say good work and do review check-in. And from here, I can go in and review my next check-in if I want to do so. Next up, we have tasks. Over here, you can view the upcoming tasks. Over here are tasks with no due date, and then you have your completed tasks. Next up, we have messages. Everything you need in a messaging system, from group chats to voice notes to reactions to polls. Next thing we'll look at is the manage section. So over here, you have packages, community, and teams. So with packages, you can create your own packages, and then you'll get your own pricing page. So you can view your pricing page by clicking preview. Next up, you have community. You can have as many communities as you want, and it's similar to how Facebook group works. Teams allows you to invite team members. You can view their activity history. You can assign them specific clients. One thing that's nice is you can assign multiple team members to a client. Next up is the library section. Over here, you can build out your library. So let's jump into the training. Here you'll see you have a program library. So a program consists of multiple workouts. So for example, a full body would consist of multiple different workouts, such as back, arms, and legs. You have your workouts library. So if you have certain workouts that you like, you can store it. Next up is your sections. So sections are specific parts in a workout. So for example, you might have a warm-up routine, AMRAP routine, or you might have an interval routine, and then you have exercises. It comes with 5,000 exercises, all with the same consistent exercise videos, but you can also add your own exercise. So for nutrition, you have your meal plan library. So this would be a full meal plan, such as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So here, for example, we have 2 meal plans. Next up is your meals. So with the meals library, you can build out your own meal library, which will make it easier to put together your client's program. And then you have your foods library. So in some cases, there might be things that are not included in the HubFit food library. You can add it into your own food library. Next up is forms. You have check-ins and questionnaires. You can create forms with multiple different question types, and then you can also set schedules for when they are due. We have habits library, so you can put together all the habits and the settings for them. For example, we have this sleep habit. The habit goal is to sleep 8 hours a day, and the days that the client would get reminded is every day at 10 a.m. Next up, we have metrics. So with metrics, similar idea, you can build out the metrics you like to use with your clients. And finally, we have Vault. Think of it as a Google Drive where you can store all your resources, and you can do that here in the resource section. But then you have the collection section. The collection is a way to group clients together and then add resources to that collection. That way, when you modify a collection, it's updated instantly to all clients that are in that collection. Next up, we have automations. So HubFit has very powerful built-in automations. So over here, you have autoflow automations. Autoflow is a way to schedule things ahead of time in a sequence. So you can schedule messages, in-app notifications, adding programs. So I'll show you what this beginner flow looks like. For example, you'll see here we have a 4-week program, and you'll see on the middle of each week, we add a resource. So this is a way to drip feed information. At the end of the week, we send an in-app notification to the clients, and at the beginning of the week, we send them a message. There are multiple different types of events that you can add, and this is your library. So you build it out, and then you can just add it to a client. Next up, we have onboarding flows. Onboarding flow is a way to group everything together so that when you add a client, you can just use that flow and they will get set up instantly. So for example, we have this first flow here. If I click on this, you'll see all the settings we have. There's tags that will be added, the questionnaires, the check-ins. If we want to add workout programs, nutrition plans, habits, the metrics, resources, collections, community, and we can also add an auto flow in this onboarding flow. And this is powerful because when you add a client, you can just select this flow and all of this will automatically get added to the client. Next up, we have Zapier. Our built-in autoflow and onboarding flow automations are very powerful, but if you want to connect to external systems, we have a powerful Zapier integration for that. Let's now jump into a client profile so I can show you what that looks like. The first thing you'll see is an overview of their profile. So over here, you can see client information. Over here, you'll see the notes section. So you can add any sort of notes such as goals, injuries. Over here, you'll see an overview of the metrics, the client's recent photos, client's activity log, and payments if they've bought a package through HubFit. You then have the check-in section. Over here, you can view all their check-ins. The submission can be be viewed here. And you can also compare check-ins side by side. So for example, comparing check-ins would look like this. So with training, you have the programs that you've assigned them, the exercise history, which is a full history for all of their exercise, and then you have all of their completed workouts. So if I click on this, you can see here, you can view all the workouts they completed. And if I go ahead and click on this workout, for example, you can see here the stats of the workout, the exercises that were completed, any PRs that were hit. Next up, you have nutrition. Over here is their meal plan, so any meals that you attach. Next up, you have the nutrition logger. So this is the built-in nutrition logger in the HubFit client app, and you as a coach, you have a powerful overview. Over here, you'll get the weekly breakdown of their macros. Over here, you'll get their macros breakdown with the average. Over here, you'll see their logged meals. You can click it to view what they actually logged on this specific day. If the client decides to use chronometer instead, you can view that here, and you would see the same UI that we have over here. Next up is habits. So with habits, you can view all the habits that you've given the client. Over here, you'll see powerful metrics for the habit. You also have the autoflow. So this is the client specific autoflow. So if you look here, for example, towards the end of this week, it's going to automatically add a resource at 12 a.m. With photos, you can view all of their submitted photos, and then you have this compare option, which allows you to compare the photos side by side. You have metrics. So with metrics, you can add any sort of metric you want, and then you can view it here on the graph. You have the client's vault. The vault allows you to add resources directly to this client. And over here, you have settings. The one thing I want to show is the feature control. Feature control allows you to have complete control over the entire feature that the client has access to. So if you don't want to use habits with the client, you can just turn this off. If you don't want to use check-ins with the client, you can turn this off. The last thing I want to show you is the branding. You can customize your branding by clicking on the icon over here, going to the branding section. Here you'll see you can modify the icon, the name, the headline, and the theme. This will then brand the internal app for your clients. That's a quick overview of the HubFit platform. For a more in-depth overview on the specific features, you can find dedicated videos for each of the features. You can try HubFit out today for free.